ever. And actually, in a lot of ways, I credit him for helping me really shape the way that I view the world and my problems these days. Because when I went out to visit him back in March of 2016, I had a lot of problems. I had a lot of shit going on in my life, and I started telling him about it. And I said, look, it all comes down to you, Becca. He called it an inside job. I remember one night in particular, I was complaining or whatever about a situation with my sister. I was so angry, and I knew it was the past, and I knew there wasn't anything I could do about it and all this, but I was still very angry about it. And so I was sort of venting, and so he goes, see, Becca, this is what we're talking about before. This is an inside job. You're doing most of this to yourself. And, and I mean, he really got me starting to notice the things I said to myself about my problems, the things I said to myself about myself, the things I said to myself about my life. And this really helped me shape these ideas that I put forth on the show. And I've talked, I don't think I've used this term very recently, but I've talked in the past about being positive in a practical way. I talk about the 2 laws of Owen Kennedy. Law number 1, if you give the world half a chance, it'll turn to shite. Law number 2, if you've got the heart and mind, you can clean up the shite. And that is somebody else's words, but the ideas behind it that made those words ring true to me, those came from the little time I got to spend with my grandfather. And I by no means do I feel like I know who the fuck he was. By no means. And I regret that sometimes. But I think I know enough to know that he wasn't perfect. And I don't know how much remorse he had for the shit he did wrong. I don't know if he expressed it to his kids ever. I'm guessing he never got to express his remorse excuse me, to my grandmother. She died back in 2001. But I have a lot of faith that he loved way more than he showed, even on his dying day. And so I don't know what happens after we die. I don't know what happens to our consciousness, to our spirits, to our souls. I don't know. I'm not here to put it out there, to hypothesize or theorize or whatever. That's not what I'm here to do. What I do hope is that wherever his consciousness is, he's looking down on me or up at me. I don't know. But he's looking at me and he's going, you know what, Becca, you've royally fucked things up. But you'll get through. Because you're not stupid. And you're not weak. And that's what I hope he sees. If he's seeing me right now. So, anyways, it's time to go through my gratitudes. I don't think that's gonna work as a thing. My 3 things for which I'm grateful today. As always, not in any particular order, just spitballing here. I'm grateful for my grandfather. You know, I mean, if that didn't come through in the show, I want to make that clear now. I'm grateful for what time I got to spend with him. I'm grateful for what I learned from him in that short amount of time. I'm grateful that he taught me, whether he knows it or not, that you can love someone in despite all their imperfections. I'm grateful for that. Number 2, I am grateful for Fruit Loops. Actually, I couldn't afford proper Fruit Loops yesterday at the store, so I have Fruity Hoops. And I'm very grateful for them. I'm also grateful for knockoff Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's not quite as good, but you know what? It works. So I'm grateful for that as well. And I'm grateful that even when money gets tight and times get hard, that my needs get met. And that everything's going to be okay. So, I'm grateful for that. So, my foot just fell asleep, so I'm like wincing in pain over here, and I'm trying not to let it come through on the mic. So, if you would like to contact me anywhere on social media, what you need to be looking for is PurpleBecca923. That's PurpleBecca923. That is my username on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. With regards to Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, I always follow back, unless and until you send me something inappropriate, in which case you'll be dealt with accordingly. PurpleBecca923@gmail.com is the email address, and PurpleBecca923.com is the website. Because uniformity. Yes. I still do not understand why that makes me laugh. It sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth. Yes. But it does. So, anyways, until next time, remember to go out there and create what you deserve. Believe that you deserve it and create it. Because it's all an inside job, yo. So my grandfather once said to me. And then once you've done that, you can fly with the penguin. Toodaloo!